This is WWE superstar Drew McIntyre, and you're listening to the WWE Podcast.
The champ is
the one that everybody wants, me.
It's going to WrestleMania. Claymore!
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. This is my iron. You're going to acknowledge me.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, hello, whatever time it is with you and wherever you are. Thank you for downloading my SmackDown review as part of the WWE podcast. Once again, it's an absolute pleasure to have you listening along, and thank you so much to everyone for the follows this week on X. For anyone who hasn't done so yet, please come and follow me on X for some week time wrestling chat. I am at Amanda SD Pod. As I'm sure you guys remember from my Money in the Bank predictions, they weren't that great. I aim to improve that this time round. So really quick, let's run through the matches on tomorrow night's card, and I'll make my predictions, and then next week we can all have a laugh at how hopelessly bad they were. So we have 7 matches on the card for SummerSlam. First up, we have, and these are in no particular order, by the way. These are just I've written them down as I remember them. I'm not suggesting what the main event's going to be. So first up, I've got CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre with Seth as the guest referee. I think Punk wins here after some considerable shenanigans, probably from Seth. I don't know if he's going to take some kind of really big bump and they're going to end up getting a alternate referee in or something like that, but I definitely think there's going to be some shenanigans. Punk will get the win. I don't think they're going to turn Seth properly heel just yet, and I think Drew continues to go completely mad, being wound up by Punk's presence. I think Drew will get a victory eventually over Punk, but not just yet. I think there's a lot more fun to be had in this build. Next one I have is Cody versus Solo. I don't think there's any way at all that Cody drops the belt yet. Let's watch that one come back and bite me on the butt next week. So I think Cody retains. And it'll be a win for Cody. I think we will get Roman's return, as well as Jimmy, Jay, and Heyman. And then we get the Bloodline versus Bloodline feud starting. As we know, there's probably still a couple of key players to fit in there. For example, Rock, and possibly Sammy. Next, I've got Damian Priest versus Gunther. I think this is a win for Damien. I think he's doing unexpectedly better than certainly we all thought, and potentially than WWE thought he would as well. He's far more than a transitional champion at this stage, so I'm going for a win for Damien, with a rematch at Bash in Berlin where Gunther may win then. So let's see. Then I've got Bayley versus Nia. I think Nia beats the holy heck onto Bayley, only to have Tiffany cash in at some point. So maybe a Nia wins, does a bit of a Drew McIntyre, holds the title for a matter of minutes, and then Tiffy comes and cashes in. But I definitely think she is going to be involved somewhere. Rhea versus Liv. Controversially, I don't think Dom will turn on Rhea here. Again, clip that one. Let's remember it for next week. We can all take the you-know-what out of me when I'm spectacularly wrong. But I don't think Dom will turn on Rhea. I think Rhea wins the title back she never lost, bringing Liv's revenge to her to an end. And then I'm not sure where we go from there. I definitely think Rhea wins. Then got Logan Paul versus LA Knight. I think I agree with pretty much everybody else in the universe, that I think we see Knight get the win and his first title reign, which is so well deserved. And then I've got Sami Zayn versus Bron Breakker. I think Sami retains again. They'll have a third match, and I think at that point Bron Breakker might take the title. So not so many title exchanges as some other people in other podcasts, etc., have been predicting, but they'd be my picks. And then I guess, so what about the other possible returns other than hopefully Roman and the Usos and Heyman? I think we might see Charlotte insert herself into the winner of the Bayley Nia or the Rhea Liv picture. Once those matches conclude, I don't think she'll come out and interfere. More likely, I guess, the Bayley Nia match, as there's a nice link to the Queen, and she could say something like, there's only one Queen or something like that. And maybe that's the distraction, which causes Tiffy to wallop her with the briefcase and cash in and get the win. Something like that. Also, how about this one, guys? What about Alexa Bliss? Could she come back? Could she join the White Six? She is from Ohio, again, I think, but I'm pretty sure of that one because I think I remember her doing some chanting about it. So maybe Alexa Bliss. I think that would be a wicked return. Obviously, Roman, Heyman, and the Usos, and possibly also The Rock. So potentially, I think I've gone a bit crazy there for our fantasy booking, but hey, I'm just a fan. It would be great just to get a couple of those returns. I'm really excited for SummerSlam. I'm so excited that I think I'm going to stay up and watch it live, which will be 2 very late nights on the trot for me because I've just watched SmackDown live as well. But I'm quite excited about it, so I think it'll be worth it. So watch this space, guys. Let's see how many of the 7 predictions I get right. But let's roll it around to the reason you're all here. Let's get started on tonight's SmackDown review, talking about the SmackDown that aired on the 2nd August from Cleveland, Ohio. So tonight's show opens up with Logan Paul arriving in a completely ridiculous branded Prime truck. Jeez, this guy, honestly. Corey reminds us that he is Cleveland's favourite son. Judging by the boom from the crowd, as soon as they see him on the big screen, I would say Cleveland disagree. He greets Nick Aldis and some people in suits and is flanked, as always, by his weird cronies. We get a reminder then of tonight's SmackDown card, which is pretty mega. We've got DIY versus Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu. And we've got Alba Fire and Isla Dawn versus Bianca and Jade. And both of those are title matches. So, mega card for a SmackDown Go Home show. So the first out tonight is Cody to his usual ginormous pop, wearing his usual smart suit. Tonight he seems to be channeling some kind of royal butler with all his chains and links and on his smart suit. Wade and Corey remind us again that Cody stands alone with no one in his corner at SummerSlam versus Solo. I think they are signposting us to Roman's return so hard. I'm actually starting to wonder if it's a red herring and maybe he doesn't come. Or maybe he does. I don't know. But it's, they're clearly wanting us to make that connection. Anyway, Cody starts to cut his promo, asking, what do we want to talk about? I don't know, Cody. I think I'd like to talk about the state of the NHS or something like that. But he ignores that suggestion and goes on to ask, who do we want to talk to? Solo Sikoa. And out comes Solo. Corey points out that Solo is alone, and I think to myself, this is a sure sign that the Tongans are lurking somewhere ready to jump Cody as this promo progresses. The crowd are chanting really loudly. They want Roman, really, really loud as hell. And Solo tries to get Cleveland, Ohio to acknowledge him, Roman Reigns style. He's roundly booed, and we get a big Solo sucks chant. Cody says that he can actually see the chip on his shoulder, and that he knows how difficult it is to be a younger brother, and he almost admires the lengths to which Solo has gone to become the tribal chief. Cody then uses the phrase ballyhoo, which sounds like something from Chaucer, not WWE, but still, I mean, let's resurrect all the old phrases. Ballyhoo, indeed. Your challenge this week, guys, is to get ballyhoo into any conversation you have with any other living person. He says once the cinema is over, the bell's going to ring, and Solo will find out that Cody has everything on the line. Solo interrupts, says he's running out of patience, and Cody comes back and says he actually isn't done, and that Solo is a self-appointed chief, and Cody stands there as the actual champion at the top of WWE on a throne which he once broke. It's a nice line, as I've said before. I love it when we go into that grey area of kayfabe and real life. So that was great. He name-checks Randy and Kevin and says he is indebted to them and says he will pay them back with Solo's blood. He will finish off Solo the same as he did to Roman. Solo says Cody beat a weak tribal chief at WrestleMania, and Solo isn't weak, he is dangerous, and at SummerSlam he will show him how dangerous he is. Solo says that he wants to make the match bloodline rules tomorrow night, and at that point, surprise, surprise, the Tongans appear. So we have Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa, complete with pirate-style eye patch. Cody addresses the three of them and lets them know he isn't scared. He calls Jacob Fatu a dumb SOB, which is both hilarious and extremely brave, because he might be a dumb SOB, but he's also terrifying and slightly insane. Cody agrees to the Bloodline Rules match at SummerSlam. So that's, wow, big news. We built a lot to the fact that the WrestleMania match was Bloodline Rules. In fact, we had the whole Rock Roman tag match on the first night to establish it, and then here we are, boom, just drop it in the night before SummerSlam. Yeah, this is also going to be Bloodline Rules. That's big news, guys. Solo then says he could snap his fingers and have the Tongans tear him apart, but he won't do that because tonight the tag titles come back to the Bloodline. And then tomorrow night, Cody's title comes back too. Cody says he doesn't have to fight the family, he only has to beat the tribal chief, but since he isn't here, he will make do with the wannabe. Brutal. Love it. That was fantastic. We now get next segment, which is a Carmelo Hayes vignette. He's at the barber's again. I can feel a theme developing here. And he says, why does everyone want to talk to him so much about Andrade? He says all Andrade knows about is quitting teams and switching teams. He says when they fight again, it will be different from a cornfield in Nebraska, and he will beat Andrade over and over because when he shoots, he don't miss. Presumably apart from the other times where he has missed. But onwards, so we then get to the match between these guys, and Andrade makes his entrance to a warm, good reception. And as we come back from the break, Carmelo makes his entrance, which is somewhat lukewarm. Wade says there's no way Carmelo will get 2 L's in a row. And this match kicks off with Carmelo, as always, chops it off to Andrade. I think trash talking, more accurately put. We're pretty even at the start, trading move for move in the early goings. The commentary team are reminding us that Carmelo is a first-round draft pick, but hasn't done that much since coming up. And also reminding us that both men have said that they would like the US title. We get a near fall for each man, and we go to the break. As we come back from the break, Carmelo has the upper hand and has Andrade outside the ring. Carmelo brings Andrade back to the ring, gets another near fall, continuing to wear him down with some kind of armbar submission hold. Andrade gets himself back into the match with a great dragon screw and a huge forearm. So Andrade taking control. Misses with double knees into the corner, and Carmelo counters the Spanish fly. Carmelo then suplexes Andrade off the ropes. Carmelo is then on the top rope, who's joined by Andrade, who pulls off a superplex but can't capitalise. And that was a beautiful move, which gets the slow-mo treatment that I've talked about in the last couple of podcasts as we go to the break. As we come back from the break, Andrade is still in charge, pushing Hayes from the apron and taking flight from the top rope to the outside. Carmelo then counters with a facebuster, goes for the cover. Andrade is set up in the corner but fights out, hits an elbow, leading to another near fall. Andrade goes up for the double moonsault, which he nails and goes for the cover, but Carmelo kicks out. Andrade goes for the figure 8 leg lock in the middle of the ring, but it's a bit of a weak effort. I mean, I say that as if I could even attempt to get my legs in that position, but you know, I don't have to. Pretty weak effort. And Hayes makes it to the rope for a break. A couple of big kicks from Hayes. Goes up top but misses. Hayes tries to get a cover. Andrade counters. After Carmelo tries to get a cover by grabbing Andrade's tights. But then Andrade covers and takes the win. It's a brilliant match. I thought very different in style to the last one, and a really great demonstration of different styles each of these guys has in their locker. I'm quite excited to see where both of these guys go in the future. But very impressive start to the show. We then go straight backstage, and we get Elektra Lopez telling Santos Escobar to take care of Apollo this week. Angel says it's easy, and Escobar tells him that Legado del Fantasma needs to get back on track. He says their failure last week is no marker of the potential of this family. He makes his entrance with the whole of Legado del Fantasma. We come back from the break, and Apollo is already in the ring. I'm assuming at this point that he no longer has his own entrance music at all. Baron Corbin is at ringside. Escobar comes out fast, dropping Apollo with a huge kick, and continues to beat him down. Wade references the unusual alliance with Corbin. Yeah, you could say that. Unusual, pointless, whatever. Meanwhile, in the ring, Santos is still well in charge, and Apollo can't seem to find a way in just yet. Backbreaker by Escobar leads to a near fall, and finally Apollo looks to be getting into the match and getting into much needed offense, knocking down Escobar. Corbin on the outside takes out Angel, and Apollo with the Gorilla Press Slam. Berto with a distraction allows Escobar back into the match, who then performs the Phantom Driver on Apollo for the win. The commentary team point out that someone has Corbin's leg under the ring, which just reminds me of Hornswoggle and then the Bella Twins, when they came to WWE. We didn't know they were twins, and they kept trading under the ring. But we don't get any more on that, so I guess it was just one of Legado del Fantasma. Quick match, not that much to it. Predictably, Apollo loses. Oh, and I just thought of a new nickname for Apollo. Instead of Apollo Crews, it could be Apollo Lose, because he just loses all the time. I look forward to seeing what Santos will do next. He is a phenomenal talent, and also Apollo was in attendance. That's pretty much all I've got to say about that. Backstage now, and we go to Jade and Bianca, who are grinning like a pair of Cheshire cats. They are with Byron, who asks how confident they are going into tonight's title match. Jade says that they are very confident. Bianca says they were never pinned and they are ready to bring the Storm and the EST. So all fairly by numbers and predictable, but nothing wrong with that. We go back to the ring and they're laying a carpet down for what Wade says is going to be the biggest homecoming of all time. Can you hear me? Oh, my eyes roll there, guys. Can you hear that? Nick Aldis, or Oblivion the Gladiator, as we all like to call him, is in the ring with the suits from earlier, who are apparently Cleveland dignitaries. He introduces Cleveland's own Logan Paul, who is predictably booed. And Wade and Corey take the mickey out of the dignitaries, saying that suit in the middle, she books Logan's travel, which I just thought was hilarious. I'm loving the comedy elements of tonight's show. Very good. Logan cuts a promo on Knight, telling Knight that he is delusional if he thinks he's going to take his belt in his own hometown. Again, the crowd disagrees. Paul saying he inspires and represents the town and he is Cleveland. The crowd are cheering for LA Knight, and Logan then turns on the crowd and starts talking them down. He said he gets it. He's only had 2 defences in 273 days, which is 2 more than LA Knight will ever have. Nick Aldis then makes a snide remark about not being able to find the dignitaries on Google, to which Logan is offended and goes on to unveil his new championship banner to hang in the arena forever. It unfurls, predictably, but brilliantly. It's been defaced with a massive LA Knight, yeah. And at that point, Knight's music hits and the crowd go nuts. He cuts a promo on Paul. Paul is looking very agitated. Knight says that Paul needs to get serious. He's losing his title in 24 hours. And wait, he isn't even from Cleveland. He's from one of the suburbs. Knight says he's going to go and do him a favour and has something for him. So he goes off and we follow him through the backstage area. He runs into Pretty Deadly. I love them. Who say they don't have a banner, but would like a sneak peek of a song from Pretty Deadly the musical. They start singing awful, and LA Knight leaves them. He then comes across that god-awful truck that Logan arrived in, and gets in and drives away as Paul chases down the truck and shouts out that LA Knight's a criminal. A great segment. Really looking forward to their match again at SummerSlam. I think, for all that Logan Paul is or is not, he's an excellent heel and he's brought a lot into WWE. We then get a package on Isla and Alba, cutting a promo on the ex-champs, saying they beat them once and they will beat them again. They then make their entrance for the first of tonight's title matches. Before the match, we get a backstage segment with Logan Paul and Nick Aldis, where he's complaining about his truck getting stolen. Nick says he will take it up with the dignitaries. Jade and Bianca then make their entrance for the title match. As always, Jade looks great, but they do seem to have overdone her fake snow this week. Weirdly, Jade doesn't wait on the entranceway for Bianca. She just struts her way straight to the ring. And they hook back up at the ring after Bianca's separate entrance. Alicia Taylor gives it the big introduction. Do you know what, guys? Alicia reminds me of someone. I can't quite put my finger on who. Anyway, before the bell, the champs try and attack Jade and Bianca, but that goes badly and the challengers overcome them. Once the bell rings, we have Jade in the ring, absolutely battering Isla Dawn. Bianca gets the tag, but Alba comes in with the assist, and then all women are in the ring. Jade and Bianca get the upper hand again with a double gorilla press slam on each of the champs in stereo, which looks great. We come back from the break, and annoyingly, the champs are now back in charge. So for all of the flowers that I'd given WWE over the last couple of weeks for not doing that, they've just gone and done it, and we have no idea how it happens. Small gripe. Isla has Jade tied up, and the champs pull a backstabber swanton combo, which Jade barely kicks out of. Was quite puny. The champs are still in charge, but Jade, with the double suplex and the EST, gets the tag, takes out the champs with a double crossbody. Bianca pulling off all of her very impressive power moves, smashing Isla and Alba. Near fall, which Isla breaks up, and Jade knocks her for 6 outside the ring. And then from absolutely nowhere, Blair Davenport appears and takes out Jade, which forces a finish in the match. She then takes to the ring and helps the champs beat down Bianca and Jade. Jade grabs Blair. Too many B's here. Jade grabs Blair and the champs come to her rescue. That was unexpected. I actually thought that Jade and Bianca might have a chance of winning, and I absolutely didn't see Blair Davenport come in. I definitely don't hate it. I love a faction, so let's see where this goes. But new combinations and no title change. I'm here for it. Let's see what happens with this storyline. Well, next thing we get told is that it's official. Cody solo match tomorrow night at SummerSlam will be Bloodline rules. So that's good news. We get a vignette from Nia Jax and Bayley hyping up their match, pretty much replaying Nia's greatest hits since she came back to the WWE. We're reminded of who she has taken out on her way to SummerSlam. So throughout the Queen of the Ring tournament and etc. We also get an edit of some of Bayley's great promos in this build. There's a big signpost in the form of a reminder that Tiffany is the Money in the Bank holder too. So I'm pretty sure, in fact I'm almost definitely sure, that I think I'm right with my prediction that Tiffy is somehow involved tomorrow, 100%. I'm not quite sure what combination or how it's going to manifest, but I'm pretty sure she's involved. We also get a reminder of the "You're big, strong and reckless" comment, which I loved. And then, oh my god, we get some live stuff backstage, and the briefcase finally has been fully bejazzled and pinked up by Nia. Much more Tiffany. She tells Tiffany that she better not cash in on her tomorrow, or else she would have to answer to her. Tiffy falls over herself to assure Nia that won't happen. Takes the briefcase very excitedly. And then we get Chelsea and Piper coming into the frame, who turn their noses up at the new briefcase. And Tiffany and Chelsea together, guys, is as brilliant as it sounds. Chelsea says that "Cha-ching Chelsea" sounds so much better than "tacky Tiffy time." Might be my favourite line of the night. I really hope this means that we get a programme between those two at some point. I think that would be fantastic. I was a bit wary when we had the draft, which ended up that Chelsea and Tiffany were going to be on the same brand, because I thought they were too similar. But actually, they're really not. And I would really look forward to a programme featuring those guys. Brilliant stuff. And then here we go to the main event. So Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga make their entrance. Their music is actually pretty intimidating. So I think Wade or Corey on commentary said that it was like war drums or something. But yeah, it certainly does the job. And I was right, guys. Last week, with my dusty memory, Johnny Gargano is from Cleveland. By the way, that's a correct thing I said and remembered. So, it doesn't happen often. So, I remembered. Tommaso Ciampa is cutting a promo on the way to the ring, which I've said before, I really like this new way of delivering promos. We see Johnny with Candice, obviously his wife and his child, and Indy Hartwell, who is like their best friend, which is very wholesome. Johnny says this arena is where he saw his first WWE live event in '96, and now he's back today on his home turf. DIY obviously get a massive pop as they come out as expected. Once again, Alicia gives this match the big introduction, and guys, I still can't put my finger on who she reminds me of. I'm sure it'll come to me in the week, but yeah, it's killing me. She reminds me of someone. We start off with Ciampa and Tonga. Tonga getting the upper hand right away. He's extremely high energy and very quick in the ring. We don't see a lot like him. He's not particularly high flying, but he's just like a rabid dog. He just never stops. He knocks Ciampa out of the ring and we go for a break. As we come back, Ciampa has just got back into things, hanging Fatu up on a ring post and getting the tag into Johnny, who continues the momentum against Fatu. Tonga gets the tag and Johnny gets a near fall. Ciampa is in the ring now and Fatu is taken out. Ciampa off the top with an air raid clash and a super close fall on Tonga. But then a blind tag by Fatu, who comes in and literally almost takes Ciampa's head off with, he just runs through him, basically. I don't even know what that move was called, but he basically destroyed him. So he smashes Ciampa, and again, in the corner, tag made, and then Tonga comes in with a splash, but Johnny breaks up the cover. Fatu takes Johnny out on the outside of the ring, but runs into the steps and takes himself out as well. Another close cover for Johnny on Tonga, and a beautiful double team move, which I think we're well used to by now from DIY. Solo spikes Ciampa behind the ref's back, and Tonga beats down Johnny, but Johnny comes back with super kicks all around for the bloodline. Gargano on fire, but Fatu just won't lay down, and he hits his moonsault followed by a DDT straight away for a cover on Gargano and the win for the bloodline, and we have new tag team champs. So the match, I didn't set my timer, but it certainly wasn't a long match. I think it maybe was 8 or 9 minutes. DIY certainly weren't squashed and they didn't embarrass themselves. They did good. But the bloodline, the new bloodline, are the new champs. I am a bit surprised. I think I called this one last week. Let's say I did. So I think I called this last week. The bloodline basically starting a new dynasty. Maybe now we have the makings of the Usos resurrecting their tag team back up and running, taking on the new bloodline to get the titles back, and then we start the fall of the new bloodline and the rise of the old bloodline, and we finish with the new modern bloodline, the brutal bloodline, standing tall again. Really enjoyable match, really enjoyed it, and as I said, DIY certainly didn't embarrass themselves. So yeah, all good. So as I said before, guys, bring on SummerSlam. I think it's going to be absolutely brilliant. Let me know your thoughts on X. As I said, I will be watching live tomorrow night, so if you want to have a bit of a chat on X, just reach out and we can live chat as SummerSlam is going ahead. If you want to, I'll certainly keep my eye on it all. So guys, that just about does it for this week's show. Once again, and as always, thank you for having me in your ears. Thank you for all your support and comments in the week. I really appreciate it. And I hope you have a great week. And until next time, remember, be kind.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.